All right, well, we decided we wanted to get a couple snowmobiles and didn't really want anything too great. Have some fields to run around in, some really rocky land around here to beat on stuff. And I wanted some old sleds that you can kind of run in very little bit of snow. We don't have a big area to run snowmobiles, so we figured let's get these old beaters and have some fun with them. I had a 72. This one here is a 74 ARCTIC CAT Panther 440. We also picked up a 75. Easy way to tell the year on these is this first number. On the serial number, if it's a 4, it's a 74. If it's a 5, it's a 75. Cut and dry with that. They made a bunch of different models for these. The 440 was the big one. And this one is fully loaded. It had all the bells and whistles with the tack, the speedometer, and it's got a bunch of miles. This one has... no, this one only has 598 miles on it. If that's real, I don't know. It had electric start, which has all the stuff right here for a battery, and the starter is buried down in there. So these haven't run in a little while, so we're cleaning them out. Gas tank in this one really isn't too bad in there, which is kind of nice. Sometimes they can be really rough and terrifying. We have the seat. It needs a little bit of work. It's you know, seats take a beating in these. These are fun because they're aluminum and they have a metal track on them. The cleats do get thrown every once in a while and you can just rivet them back together, but they kind of run in almost no snow, and very simple engines to them. I had the 440, no, I had the 399 and that thing hauled, so I figured let's get the 440 if we can find one, and well, 2 of them came up at the same time, so we got a really good deal on these. I mean, come on, they're old junk sleds that don't run, so you don't expect to pay a whole lot for them. But they turn over and they move freely, so we're gonna go through them and try to get them working here and see what happens. Let me go take you over and show you this other one. All right, so here is a 75, and you can see this one's a little different. It has slightly different pattern on the front here. That's about it. It's still a 440, and they have the nice narrow track to them, and they feel like they're very tippy, so the speed, you really feel it. Feels like you're going way faster, and this actually doesn't even look as good as it's looking on film at the moment. But same deal, same engine. It has the battery in there for the electric start. Again, this is another fully loaded one with the tack, and this has 6,000 miles on it, so it's quite a few miles. It tells you these things will run, and it still looks like it's really in great shape, kind of almost ready to go. So this one still has some gas in it. We have to drain all that gas out of there, probably clean the carburetors out. I hate cleaning carbs, but yeah, you get used to it. This one turns over freely. Got an aftermarket clutch on there. I ordered new wear bars in the front and new sliders on the bottom for one of them, and the other one needs a bogey wheel as well. Other than that, everything is there, so hopefully the parts come pretty soon and we can change it. Like I was saying about the metal tracks, if you can see, there's the cleats, and they kind of dig in and go just about everywhere. They slide nice on ice, and they're a lot of fun. So we're gonna see what we can do here, get these cleaned up. I think I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna pull the spark plugs off, dump some gas in there, and see if we can get it to spark and fire up, and drain these fuel lines out. Maybe it'll run. We'll do some simple stuff first. If we can get it going without cleaning the carbs, that'd be awesome. I know they've been sitting for a couple of years, but wow, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully we get some snow now. Beautiful day to get out here and tinker on this. Well, let's get to work. Okay, now let's see here. This Phillips head right here, it's probably gonna strip if I try to take that out. So what I have is this fancy tool. It's called an impact driver. You use it like a screwdriver and it turns one way or the other. But then you hit the back of it with a hammer while turning, and it breaks the screw free without stripping it. And there you go. The screw is turning nice and easy, and I didn't have to strip it to do that. Very valuable tool. I've had this thing forever, and it saves a lot of strip stuff. Okay, here, let's see. So we are about to give this thing a go. Basically, I cleaned out the fuel tank, so that's all good, and put new fuel in it. All I did was just take this apart and flush it out. Now, spark plugs are loose. Let's put some fuel in there. And see what happens here. We have fuel. I put fuel into the fuel filter by blowing in the tank. I'm going to do that again once I do this to make sure I get everything into the line. We'll put a little bit of gas in there and see what the hell happens. See what these look like. Oh, wet. Now let's see if we have some spark before we even do anything. Make sure this is out of the way, just in case. Yeah, that's pretty wet right there, but doesn't really smell like gas. Probably old gas. Let's see what happens here. Well, you just want to make sure you're grounding your spark plug. When you do this, you need it to hit the frame. The key is on. Let's see. Spark. It's mild. Yeah, there's some spark. It's pretty light and mild, but there's spark. I do have new spark plugs on the way, but I want to try to get this running. Alright, make sure you don't mix up which wire goes to which. Now let's take and put a tiny bit of gas, just a tiny bit. I usually go like that, get it in the nozzle, and then drip it in there so you're not pouring gas everywhere. You only want to put a little bit in each one. You stand on this side so you can see what I'm doing. Again, now I have it in the tube here, and by doing that I'm only going to be able to put just a little squirt in each one instead of it pouring out everywhere. You don't want too much. A little gas is good, not too much. And I don't know how long it's been since these have been fired up, so that'll help. If it's gonna work, that's what it's gonna need. It'd be kind of cool if this will run and I don't have to clean the carb. That'd be awesome, but that rarely ever happens, and usually if it's old gas, you're cleaning carburetor. So don't let it sit too long. Choke is on. Let's pull it. Let me blow in this tank. Get some pressure and stuff. Fire it again. Hey, it's alive at least. That's a good sign. Wonder if that got any fuel up into it. Looks pretty dry right there. A little bit. Boy, this is where electric start would come in handy. Let me see here. Just seems like there should be more fuel in that fuel filter. If we can get it to come ripping out of that. Yep, that got rid of a bunch. Now it's got the fuel in there. Interesting. I wonder if that's drawn the wrong side. Almost looks like it should be drawing fuel through here instead of there. Well, it did fire up. That's a good sign. Let me try to do... It's really odd that no gas is going in that. It's like it's going the wrong direction. I wonder if we switch these two, if that would help. I wonder if it would pump stuff out of that otherwise. Just wondering if that's backwards. Probably not, but still not getting much gas out of that. There's your problem. That's some old nasty shit in there. It's still not putting out good stuff. Let's put it back the other way now. We got all that crap out of the line. I thought it was all out before. Apparently not. Hey, it worked. It got something in there. Let's try that again a few times. Looks like I'll probably be cleaning the carburetor. I don't know though. I'm still thinking this. If it just pushed all that crap fuel through, put a new fuel filter, we might be fine. Make sure that's got good, no crack on that line, so it gets good vacuum. But at least it fires up. That's the key thing, getting them going. And you always just take a little tinkering. Take a lighter to these and dry them out and clean them. I don't want to do it right here because there's gas everywhere, but that's something you can do. Give it a few pulls with nothing on there. Maybe blow that. I'm going to be kind of quick because you don't want it to evaporate. Just don't over tighten anything. All right, come on, girl, fire up for me. Well, it ran a little longer that time. I think we're cleaning the carburetor. Just gonna guess. Darn it. Oh well, it's not too bad. I mean, it's really two bolts here. Take this linkage off, pull the air box and go through it. These little discs are probably full of crud. But that was this one. Let's go see if the other one fires up. Okay, so we moved on to the 74 here, and you can see this carburetor is a little different. It doesn't have the air box on here. I believe it should. I think 73 they made them have to have air boxes to cut down the sound of these. Ooh, there, right there. That's going to be a problem. Let's address that before we get any further. We won't have any vacuum to run our fuel pump to pump fuel. But I gassed this thing up. I'm going to pull these. Actually, I can just dump a little gas in here. It might go. I don't even have to really pull the plugs, I think. We'll try it. Let me fix this first. Well, I lucked out. I only had to cut that little bit off, and I was able to shorten the line and get it on there. So that works. Throttle's working. Ooh, we have no choke. Okay, well, choke would be pulled back on this. So we'll pull the choke on. If we get it running, we'll have to kick that off. Let me see how I can set this here. What do we have? What are we looking at? Guess you can see what I'm doing. Now, let's put a little gas in this carb and put a shot here. Oh, that's a drink. Why is that That's kind of dumb. Whoa, okay. Maybe we'll turn the choke off on you. You probably don't need choke. Maybe you do need choke. That is cool. So there you have it, 1974. Now that the water's coming off the hood, you could see it's not as nice as it was. I'm taking, I don't know, maybe I'll wax it up. It's meant to go be played with and have some fun. What a neat toy. Machine. Like I said, these things are like little tanks. They're very tippy. You really feel the speed with them. I guess the key switch doesn't work, but hey, as long as it's on and running at the moment. Yay! Oh, now it just has to snow. Let's get the other one going. That's cool. That saves me the trouble of rebuilding one carb. I mean, it didn't seem like it was going to be that hard of a carburetor. It'd be easier than the other one, but if it's running that good and idling, maybe I'll take this bottom nut out here and drain whatever the heck might be in there and try again. Just need that piece for the choke. Maybe a better clip on here. That would be ready. Like I said, I have new runners and slides coming for this and the bogey wheel. So all of like $80 to fix these sleds up and be ready to go. Pretty cool. And we got these for dirt cheap because, you know, they're old junker beat sleds in people's minds, and for the most part they are. The only good thing is this was the top of the line model with all the cool stuff in it. So it should be fun. You'll have to tune in when we get snow and take these things out and go run around and show you what they can really do. I used to love ripping them, and they can really go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is exciting stuff here. All right, well, we decided we're gonna take the carburetor off. 2 bolts. Well, I gotta watch that thing there. The throttle cable, the choke cable comes through here, and now we should be able to take it off. We gotta pull these fuel lines at the bottom, then we can get to it and keep working on it here. These special little sleeves. I'm sure most people lose those. And I'm going to be extra careful with this because I can't find a carb kit for it. So because of that, I want to make sure I don't rip any gaskets. And hopefully I can make this all work. That's what we have. That comes out. Okay, the fuel lines will be easy to get off. What the heck? Why is this one so tight? There's the vacuum. So there we go. Now we have our carb off. So now we'll just take this bottom off and every one of these diaphragms and go through them and clean them. I will have a very sharp, wide screwdriver. Let me grab it to peel these apart, and it's a gasket scraper. That should really help and help preserve these. Let's see how this goes. All right, well, let's see what we can do. Figured I'd show you. This is the screwdriver thing I was talking about. It's a gasket scraper, and it's very sharp on the point. You're able to cut inside this, so you want to be really careful peeling these apart. Where's that joint? There. It's got a part underneath I can probably leverage off. Okay, we're in. Uh-oh. Did I cut it? I might have cut it. Nope, we're good, we're good. It's the problem, these things are so stuck on there. Oh, and it's full of goop. Nastiness coming out of there. You could see. Look at that. That's your reason. That's why I won't run. Gross. Ugh. Yep, there's your non-ethanol fuel. That's what happens when you run ethanol in your fuel. It gums up all this garbage. So now I gotta try to clean that out. Carb cleaner. And cleans it right away. Awesome. Watch your eyes, you don't get any of this in your eyes because it'll burn real bad if you do. And just slowly clean everything off, let it sit for a minute. And remember the way this all goes together. Luckily all these tabs kind of fit, but ugh, nasty. Super nasty. So now I gotta, like I said, try to preserve all those little gaskets in there. And God, it is so gross. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh, it's sticking in the back. See, this is where this comes in handy, because then you can just slide that along very slowly and keep it from ripping. Oh, man. Ooh. Well, that's not going to be good. I don't think I can even fix or save any of that. Ugh. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. All right. Now I'm in trouble. Make sure that was the way that was on there, right? Yeah. So that goes like that, goes like that, goes like that. Ugh. Well, let's see what I can come up with. Clean it and put it back together best I can. And you can see the water in there, so it's definitely, aside from whatever that green goop is. All right. Well, I pretty much did everything I'm going to do to this thing at the moment. Put the carb back on. Cleaned it out as best I could, but I don't know. It's probably gonna leak. We gotta find a kit for this thing. It is real bad. But I want to see if it's gonna run, so Alright, well, we're still trying here. Hasn't fired up yet. I see a little gas leaking out of it, so it is getting some gas. Come on. That might help get a little bit of oomph. Come on, girlie. I see it dripping gas, so it is getting some gas now. Huh. Let me do these plugs. Alright. Well, we got some gas in there. Let's see if it's going to work this time. We need to top something else. Alright. Come on, girl. Are you going to fire this time? Oh, I got it turned off. I must have hit it with my hand. But after that, you didn't suck anything in? Really? I'm not putting a vacuum to it or something. I don't know. Hoping it would have drew something through there. Well, either way, we're gonna have to get a carb kit for this thing. I think we're just done with that carb, but it's running good, so at least it runs good. I wouldn't say running good, but running to where whatever I put on it is going to be worth putting into it. Stupid thing, I definitely need that electric start. It's too much effort pulling these. Well, this might be the solution to our carburetor problem. If we can't find the carb kit, I have these old Mikunis. God, I bought this for this kind of snowmobile 20 years ago. I don't even remember which one it was. It might have been this one. But, man, of course, maybe it's not dry rotted through there. It's just on the outside of that. As long as those cracks don't go through, because those little cracks right there, if they're in the wrong spot, they will lean your engine out and blow your engine. So we'll make sure that isn't an issue. But if this fits, it might be worth it just to throw that on there, go through there and clean that up if it works. Might be stuck, but probably better than what's on here. All right, well, the good news is we were able to get a carb kit for this particular carburetor. So we're over here, tore it back out, cleaning it all up and trying to get all this gunk out of here. And oh my God, it's ridiculous. So we'll give that a good spritz and let that sit for a while and soak and go through everything. We have the needle right there. That's what the gas comes through. Make sure you don't lose any of these parts and pieces. So pay attention to what's what and how it goes together, where your screws go and how it all works. So I kind of left this together at the moment, but I have to pull all these gaskets out, change all of them. I can see this little fancy one here goes up under there somewhere. So we have a little bit of work to do, but I want to ride the snowmobile soon. It's getting cold, so snow's coming. Let me get this done. Just want to let you know, this is one of the hardest carburetors I've ever done. You can see there's these 3 little springs right here. They're kind of hard to even make out on the camera there. Plus this little flap, another spring, this little disc, all this other mess underneath here, and I still have all that to go through yet. This is a very technical, stupid little carburetor. So hopefully I don't mess it up too much, and I think I got everything right, but there's at least one layer done. On to the next, and this fancy ass thing is underneath that as our diaphragm for the fuel control. So that attaches to here and controls that. We're getting there. All right, well, we got this all back together, and you can see all the new gaskets in there. This is one of the old ones here. This, you can see the diaphragm is pretty much shot. It's not really gonna work too well. This poor sucker was inside there. That wasn't gonna control a whole lot with the fuel anyway. So now that we're back together, let's put this on and see if it works. All right, we're all back together, and I don't know, let's see if we can get this to go here. No clue. Give this a couple pulls. Give it a shot of ether here. Choke's on. No, choke is not on. Gotta tighten that up. Now the choke's on. Help suck some fuel through. Plugs are on. Give it a couple yanks here. Everything's on, right? Keys on, plugs are on. This is choke. Some choke now. Huh. Interesting. Let's take the plug. All right, well, put a little gas in here into these plugs. Make sure you have mixed gas when you're doing this, otherwise you might blow up your engine. Needs all the oil it can, especially if it hasn't really ran before. Well, in years. Oh, I hope we got it this time. Make sure you don't mix up your wires as well. But what a pain on that carburetor, I tell you. That's almost one where you just get a Mikuni and rubber mount and call it a day. Instead of farting around with that thing. All right, let's see if this is gonna go. Come on, girl, fire up for me. Brian's Amazing World right there. You're gonna have to come check this out. When we get some snow, we're gonna go take these out and beat on them and have a great old time. Until then, go get yours running. You have a great day.